Welcome and thank you for joining the Children's Home Society of New Jersey for our on-demand training, Family Relations, Strategies for Partnership and Engagement. We're excited to have you participate in this valuable learning opportunity designed to strengthen your skills and deepen your understanding of the critical role of family relationships play in early childhood education. We hope you find this training both informative and impactful as you continue your professional growth and your commitment to providing high-quality care for the children and families you support. Please be sure to follow all training instructions and requirements throughout this course. My name is Tess Brady. I'm the lead trainer for this session. I'm here to support you throughout the training experience. If you have any questions or need assistance with the content or ending instructions, please feel free to reach out. I'm happy to help. You can contact me at the details below. At the Children's Home Society, we are committed to maintaining an inclusive and respectful learning environment. Discrimination, harassment, or exclusion based on race, ethnicity, color, national origin, religion, gender, gender identity, or expression, sexual orientation, age, disability, marital status, socioeconomic status, or any other protected characteristic is strictly prohibited. Our professional development events are designed to uplift and support early childhood education professionals. By fostering respect, understanding, and collaboration, all participants, trainers, and staff are expected to uphold these values and contribute to a welcoming professional atmosphere. If any participant experiences or witnesses inappropriate behavior or discrimination, we encourage prompt reporting to the quality manager at chsofnjqualitydepartment@gmail.com so that appropriate action can be taken. Attendance credit for this event will be recorded in njccis.com within 2 weeks, and participants can access their training records at njccis.com. Please note, however, that credit will not be awarded in the following situations: participants arriving more than 15 minutes late or more than 5 minutes late for events lasting 60 minutes or less, leaving early, missing a portion of the training, failing to attend without notification, and not following the recorded training requirements. Lastly, no developers or instructors for this course have any proprietary interest in the content or resources shared. All materials are the property of the Children's Home Society of New Jersey and may not be copied, reproduced, or distributed without prior written consent. For recorded online training events, participants are required to follow all instructions outlined in the event recording. This includes watching the entire recording, completing all assigned activities or tasks, and successfully finishing the required survey or knowledge check with a minimum score of 80%. After completing these steps, participants must email the lead trainer with their full name as listed in NJCCIS, the title of the professional development event, and a statement confirming that they have completed the required survey. Once this email is received, the lead trainer will review the information, and if all requirements are met, Record the participant's successful completion within 2 business weeks. If any part of this training is incomplete or does not meet the outlined criteria, the participant will be notified within 2 business weeks with details on what needs to be corrected. Participants may also be eligible to earn CEUs for this event. For more information, please contact LL Lockwood at chsofnj.org. As you go through this training, make sure to pause and actively participate in all required activities and engagement questions. Question activities should take anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. It's a good idea to have a notebook or document ready so you can write down your answers as you go. For example, when asked to reflect on a key takeaway, take a moment to jot down your thoughts before moving on. Please ensure you watch the full training recording from beginning to end, as all content is important for your learning. At the end of the recording, follow the provided instructions to receive your certificate and complete the survey. On the training event page on njccis.com, where you registered, you will find the survey link under the training description or special instructions section. Copy the link and complete the form. After filling out the survey, remember to email the trainer at tbrady@chsofnj.org with the following information: your first and last name as listed on NJCCIS, confirmation that you completed the survey, and the full title of the training you are referring to. Please remember, credit cannot be awarded if you do not follow all of the training instructions. Please take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect and respond to the following question. What do you hope to gain from today's training? For example, you might say, I hope to learn new ways to effectively communicate with families from diverse backgrounds. Or, I want to gain practical strategies to strengthen parent partnerships in my classroom. Take a moment to consider your personal goals for this session, and feel free to write down or share your thoughts. During today's training, we will explore the impact that strong family relationships with teachers have on child development, emphasizing how these connections support healthy growth and learning in children. We'll discuss strategies for respectful communication and building culturally responsive partnerships with families, and take time to reflect on our current practices. By the end of this session, you'll be encouraged to set actionable goals that can help enhance family engagement in your own professional setting. Our objectives for this training are to identify the key benefits of strong teacher and family relationships and understand effective communication strategies that support them. We'll also focus on recognizing and applying techniques to build respectful, collaborative partnerships with families. Finally, you'll have the opportunity to reflect on your current family engagement practices and set at least one goal to strengthen relationships with the families you work with. Please take 2 to 5 minutes to pause here to reflect and write down your response to the following question. What comes to mind when you think of family relationships in early childhood education? Consider your personal experiences or examples you've encountered in your work. For instance, you might think of how a positive relationship between a teacher and a parent can help support a child's development. Or perhaps you recall a specific moment when family involvement made a noticeable difference in a child's progress. Take this time to jot down any thoughts or examples that come to mind. In early childhood education, family relationships refer to the partnerships built between educators and a child's parents or guardians. These relationships are based on shared responsibility for the child's learning and development. It's a reciprocal process, meaning both educators and families contribute to and benefit from the partnership. At the core of these relationships is positive, ongoing communication. For example, this could look like a teacher regularly updating parents on a child's progress, while also inviting parents to share insights about their child's interests, routines, or cultural background. When families and educators work together in this way, it creates a more supportive and consistent environment for the child, both at home and in the classroom. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect and jot down your thoughts on this question. Think about a child you've worked with. How have their family relationships impacted their behavior or learning? Consider how the child's relationship with their family may have influenced their actions, emotional responses, or approach to learning. Take a moment to write down any examples or insights. The impact of strong teacher and family relationships on child development is incredibly powerful, bringing several important benefits. For instance, they contribute significantly to academic success. When families are prompted to be involved and supportive, they create an environment that fosters a love for learning, encourages curiosity, and helps children overcome academic challenges. Behavior regulation is another key benefit. They are more likely to develop self-discipline, control their impulses, and engage in positive behaviors both at home and in school with positive family relations. Finally, resilience is strengthened through strong family and teacher bonds. A child who feels supported by their family and their educators, they're better equipped to face difficulties, adapt to changes, and recover from setbacks. For example, a child who may be struggling in school but receives encouragement and guidance from their parents in conjunction with the teacher may persevere, ultimately building confidence and the ability to handle future challenges with resilience. Statistically, children with more parental involvement in their education tend to achieve higher academic success. Studies consistently show a positive correlation between parental involvement and student performance. Parental involvement plays a vital role in a child's overall development and future. These studies show that when families are actively engaged, whether by communicating regularly with caregivers, participating in classroom activities, or reinforcing learning at home, children tend to perform better academically as they grow. This involvement is linked to improved early literacy and math skills, better behavior, stronger attendance, and enhanced social emotional development. For example, when a parent reads to their child at home and maintains open communication with their childcare provider, the child is more likely to feel secure, confident, and ready to engage in learning. Creating strong partnerships between families and childcare staff lays the foundation for a child's lifelong love of learning and school success. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect and jot down your thoughts on this question. What is one benefit of a strong relationship between the teacher and the family? Think about how this connection might positively impact a child's development, learning, or behavior. For example, a strong relationship can lead to better communication, which helps the teacher better understand the child's needs and the family's expectations. Take a moment to consider how this partnership can benefit both the child and the learning environment. In this section, we'll focus on strategies for respectful, culturally responsive communication. Effective communication involves using clear language, active listening, and paying attention to nonverbal cues, such as body language and tone. These elements help build trust and understanding in all interactions. Cultural humility means respecting and learning from the diverse cultural backgrounds of the families we work with. It requires us to continually reflect on our own biases and remain open to understanding different perspectives. For example, asking open-ended questions like, "Can you share any traditions that are important to your family?" can create a more inclusive and respectful dialogue. Finally, we'll look at scenarios and strategies to navigate cultural differences in real-life situations. For example, if a family is hesitant to engage due to cultural norms, offering alternative ways to participate, such as through written feedback or private meetings, can help foster inclusion and partnership. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect and write down your answer to this question. How do you currently communicate with the families in your care? Think about the methods you use on a daily or weekly basis. Do you speak with families during drop-off and pickup, send notes home, use a communication app, or make phone calls? For example, you might jot down that you share quick updates with parents at pickup time or send weekly newsletters to keep them informed about classroom activities. Whether it's casual conversations or scheduled conferences, every form of communication helps build trust and connection. Take a moment now to consider what's working well and where there might be room to grow in your communication approach. The three C's of communication between teachers and families: communication, consistency, and collaboration are fundamental to creating effective, supportive relationships. First, communication emphasizes that it's a two-way process where both teachers and families actively share information and feedback. For example, teachers can regularly update families on a child's progress, while also encouraging parents to share their insights or concerns. Second is consistency, which is the key ensuring that communication is reliable and ongoing. Regular updates, such as weekly emails or scheduled conferences, help build trust and keep families informed. This consistency ensures that families are always up to date and feel involved in their child's learning journey. Lastly, collaboration means working together with families to boost academic success. Teachers and parents can collaborate by setting shared goals for the child, discussing strategies to improve learning or behavior, and supporting each other's efforts. For example, a teacher and parent might develop a plan to support a child's reading skills at home and in school with early literacy strategies. These strategies streamline communication and help create a united approach to supporting the child's growth and success. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect and write down your response to this question. What kinds of information should we share with parents? Think about the type of communication that helps families feel informed, valued, and involved in their child's learning. This can include daily updates about routines or behavior, classroom activities, developmental milestones, or any upcoming events. For example, you might regularly share a child's progress in social skills, like how they are learning to take turns or express and regulate their feelings, along with reminders about family events or learning themes. Sharing consistent, meaningful information builds trust and strengthens the relationship between families and educators. When it comes to parent-teacher communication, the goal is not to just share information, but to build a strong, trusting relationship. Starting at the very beginning, communication should start early and be ongoing, not just when problems arise. It's important to be proactive and create an environment where families feel welcomed and informed. Consider family schedules and offer flexible, accessible ways to stay in touch, such as in-person conversations at drop-off and pickup, daily notes, communication apps, shared notebooks, emails, or text updates. Regular newsletters and parent-teacher conferences are also helpful for keeping families in the loop. For example, a teacher might use a weekly newsletter to share classroom highlights, while also offering an open door policy that encourages parents to ask questions or share concerns at any time. Documenting communication, whether through a log or app, also helps keep records and ensure consistency. By using multiple forms of communication, we respect families' preferences and make it easier for them to engage in their child's learning. Strong, consistent communication builds the foundation for a successful partnership and supports positive outcomes for every child. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect on this question. What's one communication strategy you'd like to try or improve? Think about your current communication with families and identify an area where you could make an improvement or try something new. For example, you might decide to improve your use of a communication app like ClassDojo to send more regular updates to parents about classroom activities and their child's progress. Or perhaps you want to enhance your face-to-face interactions by making a point to greet each parent personally during drop-off and pickup. Take a moment to jot down your thoughts and think about how this new strategy could strengthen your relationship with families and support the children in your care. In building collaborative family partnerships, a key strategy is a collaborative goal setting. This involves working with families to set shared goals for the child's development, both academically and socially. For example, a teacher might sit down with parents to discuss specific goals for a child's skills, creating a plan that includes both home and school strategies. This ensures that both teacher and family are on the same page and working together toward the child's success. Building trust and shared responsibility is another critical aspect of collaboration. When families trust that teachers have their child's best interests at heart, they are more likely to be actively involved in their child's education. For instance, teachers can foster trust by being transparent in communication, providing regular updates on progress, and acknowledging the family's role in the child's learning. This sense of shared responsibility helps families feel empowered and engaged in their child's education. Engaging families is about creating an inclusive environment where families feel welcomed, valued, and encouraged to participate. This can be done through regular communication, family events, or even inviting families to share their cultural traditions in the classroom. For example, a teacher might invite parents to a family reading night where they can participate in storytelling and discuss ways to support literacy at home. When families are engaged, they are more likely to support their child's education and feel connected to the school community. Please pause here and take 2 to 5 minutes to reflect on this question. How can you foster collaboration with the families of the children in your care? Think about ways to actively involve families in their child's learning and development. For example, you might invite parents to volunteer in the classroom or participate in family events that tie into the theme or curriculum, like cultural heritage days or a share your story project. Another idea could be to schedule regular check-ins or create a family feedback survey to hear directly from them about their child's progress and any additional support they may need. Taking time to reflect on these strategies will help strengthen your partnerships with families and create a more collaborative and supportive learning environment for children. To promote collaborative family relationships, it's essential to start by making a good first impression. When families first interact with you, they should feel welcomed and valued. For example, greeting parents with a warm smile and introducing yourself in a friendly manner can set a positive tone for the relationship. A strong first impression can lay the foundation for trust and openness throughout the year. Effective communication is another key factor in fostering positive relationships. This includes not only sharing information about the child's progress, but also actively listening to parents' concerns and feedback. For example, scheduling regular check-ins or using communication tools like a weekly newsletter or app can make families informed and involved in their child's learning. Taking the time to learn parents' names and family information helps personalize interactions and show respect for the family's unique background. For instance, remembering a parent's name and asking about their child's interests or family traditions create a stronger connection and shows that you care about them as individuals. Providing support and resources is also important in promoting positive family relationships. Offering resources like parenting workshops, community programs, or educational tools can help families feel supported in their role. For example, if a parent expresses concern about helping their child with early literacy skills, you could provide strategies or connect them with services that can help them promote these events at home. An example of this could be a lending library, where families are able to take a book to read at home and bring back. Lastly, it's crucial to explain all classroom information clearly and in a way that families can easily understand. For example, when sending home classroom policies, event schedules, or progress reports, ensure the language is simple and accessible. Offering translations or explaining details in person can help families feel more confident in navigating the school environment. Please take 2 to 5 minutes and pause here to reflect and write down your answer to this question. Which partnership technique feels most realistic or exciting for you to implement in your setting? Think about one approach we've discussed, such as regular check-ins with families, inviting parents to share about the culture, or sending home simple activity ideas. For example, you might feel excited to start a weekly parent note that highlights one positive thing their child did that week. Choose a technique that feels manageable and meaningful in your work with children and families. The 5 R's are essential principles for building strong, positive partnerships with families in early childhood settings. First is respect, honoring each family's background, values, and unique experiences. For example, showing respect might mean learning how to pronounce a child's or parent's name correctly, or acknowledge cultural traditions in the classroom. Next is reassurance, which involves helping families feel confident and supported in their parenting. A simple way to do this is by regularly sharing positive feedback about their child's progress, letting them know their efforts at home are making a difference. Responsiveness means being attentive and timely when families have questions or concerns. For instance, if a parent mentions their child has been having trouble sleeping, the teacher can follow up with helpful suggestions or adjust nap time routines if possible. Relationships are at the heart of engagement. Building meaningful, trusting connections takes time and consistency. This can be done through regular check-ins, showing genuine interest in family stories, or involving them in a classroom activity. Lastly, reciprocity emphasizes a two-way partnership. Families and educators learning from one another. For example, a teacher might invite parents to share their skills or family traditions, making them feel like valued contributors to the learning environment. Together, these 5 R's create a strong foundation for lasting family engagement and child success. Now we have come to our reflection activity. Please take 10 to 15 minutes on our reflection activity and pause here. We explored key strategies for building strong family partnerships, examined the importance of respectful and cultural responsive communication, and discussed the value of consistency and collaboration. We want to take a moment to reflect on how you can apply these concepts to your everyday practice. Please take the time and consider the following prompts. These reflections are meant to help you take intentional steps towards strengthening your family engagement efforts. Reflect. Identify one area of your teaching practice related to family engagement that you'd like to improve over the next few months. Maybe it's increasing communication with families, building trust, or creating more inclusive family activities. What specific change will you focus on, and how might it positively impact your relationships with families? Then choose a strategy to implement. From today's training, choose one strategy or insight that stood out to you. This might be using a new communication method, incorporating family feedback into classroom decisions, or engaging parents in goal setting for their child. How will you intentionally apply this in your setting? And finally, identify and address a challenge. Think about a current challenge you're experiencing when it comes to family engagement. It could be low participation, language barriers, or lack of time. What simple, actionable steps can you take in the coming months to address this challenge and create a more collaborative, supportive environment for the families you serve? Remember, even small changes can lead to meaningful growth for both you and the families in your care. Now we are at our action planning activity. Let's take a moment to focus on our action planning to apply what we've learned about family engagement and family relationships. Start by thinking about 1 to 2 specific family engagement practices you plan to implement in your classroom. For example, you might commit to sending home weekly updates or inviting families to share cultural traditions, which helps build connections and encourages family involvement. Next, consider the importance of collaborative partnerships with families. Reflect on one key benefit these partnerships bring to your work as an educator. One example might be that strong family relationships give you deeper insight into each child's needs, allowing you to tailor your teaching to better support their growth and learning. Finally, take a moment to set a family engagement goal for the next few months. What's one realistic step you can take to strengthen your relationships with families? For instance, you might plan to hold short monthly check-ins or send out a survey to learn how families prefer to stay informed. By setting a clear goal and outlining the steps to reach it, you'll be taking actionable steps toward building stronger, more meaningful connections with the families in your care. Please take 10 to 15 minutes on this action planning activity and bring it back to your classroom. As you look at this slide, remember the importance of staying focused and intentional when it comes to building family relationships. Keep your engagement goals at the heart of your daily practice, whether that's improving communication, involving families in classroom activities, or building that trust over time. Commit to continuous reflection and growth, always looking for ways to strengthen your connection with families. For example, if your goal is to improve communication with families who don't speak English as their first language, you might begin using a translation app or visual tools to make your updates more accessible. Finally, it's essential to implement your goals consistently. Like we said, even small repeated efforts, like a friendly check-in or a weekly message, can make a big difference in how supported and involved families feel. Being intentional and following through helps create a more connected, supportive environment for both children and families. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the training valuable and look forward to having you join us again. Please make sure to follow all required steps to receive credit for participation. These slides provide a snapshot of our team along with the contact information. If you have any questions or are interested in the support we offer, please don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help. Please be sure to complete the required survey on the training page on njccis.com, where you originally registered for this training. To find the survey, access the event page, then click on the event details by selecting the drop-down plus sign button located on the right-hand side next to the training title. Once you've located the survey link, complete the survey form and then email me at tbrady@chsofnj.com to confirm that you've met all the requirements to receive credit. In your email, please include your full first and last name as it appears on njccis.com. Confirm that you have filled out the survey and verify that you have watched the full recording with the training title attached. Please note that credit cannot be awarded unless you follow all training instructions. Feel free to pause on this slide to access the information when finding the survey and following the training requirements. If you have any challenges or need any additional support, please feel free to contact me utilizing the email on this slide or my number that was found on the slide previously. Please note that attendance can take up to 2 business weeks. Thank you for participating in the Children's Home Society training. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope to see you again soon.